The last guest is Scary Town. Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer, because today we're beginning a visceral, first-person descent into an absolute nightmare. We aren't just looking at data or, dissecting an article. We're stepping directly into a story, stepping right into the shadows of a world that honestly wants to keep you there forever.
Have you ever walked down a path knowing you absolutely shouldn't, but found yourself entirely unable to stop? I mean, really imagine that feeling for a second. Your heart is pounding, your palms are sweating, your instincts are literally screaming at you to turn around. But your feet, they just keep moving forward? Well, that is exactly the psychological space we're entering today. You are the protagonist of this journey.
Welcome to Scary Town. Now I gotta warn you right out of the gate. In this explainer, every single step forward is a step deeper into the dark. Once we begin, there's zero turning back.
So, our journey kicks off in this terrifying, edge-to-edge environment that just immediately sets the tone. Over on our left, you've got this rusted, blood-spattered sign loudly warning us, don't visit this place and leave before dark. But of course it's already dark, right? Just look at those slick, rain-soaked cobblestones reflecting the eerie red taillights of that abandoned car in the distance. And right there, waiting under the bloody sign in the pouring rain, totally blocking the way to that ominous clock tower ahead, is a solitary, spectral figure. Her long dark hair is obscuring her face. She's not moving. She is just waiting for you.
The Dark Forest. Leaving those ruined, claustrophobic streets behind, our path actually forces us outward, into a place that's somehow even more isolating.
Here in the Dark Forest, the brilliant use of isolation builds this immense, crushing dread. The chaotic cityscape is completely gone, and it's been replaced by these suffocating, pitch-black woods. Look at that single, dim street lamp casting a really pale glow on the wet asphalt. To the left, there's a heavily rust-stained sign that just simply reads, "Turn back now." But our eyes, they're immediately drawn dead center. That exact same silhouette is waiting straight ahead on the road. The stark white of her gown contrasts so sharply with the pitch-black darkness. And she's moved. She's following you.
Why didn't you turn back? Seriously, let me ask you, why didn't you just turn around? The signs literally told you to. Your gut told you to. But you just kept walking into the dark anyway. And now, your heartbeat starts quickening as you realize you've made a really, really terrible mistake. The run tunnel. Seeking any sort of escape from those suffocating trees and that figure on the road, you're forced to take the narrative underground. You plunge straight into the echoing dark.
Now, the utter lack of an exit down here makes this environment deeply claustrophobic. You are totally boxed in by this heavy, curved concrete. Notice the slick train tracks running right down the center, gleaming under those harsh, failing lights. But look closely at the walls. The concrete is literally smeared with gore. And once again, standing completely motionless in the shadows right in the middle of the tracks is that same spectral figure. And she is getting closer.
Run, run, run. Scrawled in what looks exactly like fresh blood on the tunnel wall to your left is this frantic warning, run, run, run. It's a direct, echoing message meant just for you. Because whatever happened down here, it definitely didn't end well for the person who wrote that. The air grows cold. The smell of copper fills your lungs. You take off sprinting. The air just grows freezing cold against your skin, and this thick, metallic smell of copper, the unmistakable scent of blood, it completely fills your lungs. You flee the tunnel, desperately seeking absolutely any sanctuary you can possibly find. The blood-stained hospital. You burst through a set of heavy doors, totally thinking you finally found a safe haven. But, spoiler alert, you haven't. You've entered a place meant for healing that's been thoroughly corrupted into pure horror. This room represents the absolute pinnacle of environmental horror. We're inside this decaying, patient room, and the walls are just completely coated in gruesome splatter. Look at that single, rusted hospital bed over in the corner. The mattress all stained and rotting. But honestly, the most terrifying detail isn't even the furniture. Look over to the left wall. There's a spectral, screaming face literally burned, or maybe painted in blood, right into the plaster itself. It's wild.
I saw you. And written in these massive, jagged letters directly above the bed is a super bloody message. I saw you. It makes it horrifyingly clear, doesn't it? You haven't been escaping this whole time. You've been watched. Every single step, every frantic breath.
Are you being followed? The paranoia is just completely overwhelming at this point. You spin around, genuinely wondering if that malicious presence you felt in the room is standing right behind you right now.
Looking down the adjacent hospital ward, the room is completely filled with these empty, rusted beds. And yep, there she is, the ghostly figure in the white gown. But notice her positioning here. She actually isn't chasing you anymore. She's standing perfectly still, just staring out the shattered hospital window out into the night. It hits you. She isn't trying to catch you. She is acting as the final lock on the door. You are officially trapped inside.
The footsteps stop. A voice crackles through the static. Suddenly, those heavy, echoing footsteps that had been relentlessly pursuing you, they just stop. The horrific silence of the hospital is broken by a sudden, sharp hiss. A voice crackles to life through the static of an unseen intercom. And this is exactly where our story shifts from pure survival horror toward a truly twisted meta-revelation.
The broadcaster's microphone. We have officially reached the final destination of our explainer. The curtain is pulled back. The true architect of this entire nightmare is finally waiting for us.
And here is that true architect, a terrifying Grim Reaper figure, totally draped in tattered black robes, leaning intimately over a vintage studio-quality microphone. Look at those glowing, sinister red eyes locking right onto yours. Look at that skeletal claw reaching out toward the soundboard. The sign right in front of him literally reads, "Scary Town," and you can even see that clock tower from the very beginning looming in the background. The terrifying twist is fully revealed. Your entire agonizing descent, the dark street, the woods, the bloody tunnel, the hospital, literally none of it was random. It was all a meticulously crafted show, broadcast live for a dark, unseen audience.
Thanks for tuning in, last guest. As the Reaper leans into the mic, his voice echoes through the hospital speakers, blending perfectly with my own. Thanks for tuning in, last guest. It really leaves you with a chilling question to ponder. The next time you feel a sudden, inexplicable sense of dread, are your instincts actually warning you of real danger? Or are you just providing some really good entertainment for an unseen audience watching from the dark?